I won't stop hustling. But I just
King Richard is a 2021 American biographical drama film directed by Renato Marcus Green and written by Zach Balin. It follows the life of Richard Williams, the father and coach of famed tennis players Venus and Serena Williams, who served as executive producers of the film. It also stars Will Smith in the title role, Anjanae Ellis, Sanaya Sidney, Demi Singleton, Tony Godwin, and John Bernthal. Man, listen, this was a hell of a ride. This follows the life of Venus and Serena's father, who in partake is the reason that they're successful. Uh, I didn't know what to expect going into this movie. I went into it, and I'm real hesitant with Will Smith movies because Will Smith is hit or miss for me. Normally, Will Smith plays Will Smith in every role, likable character, but sometimes you just want to feel like you're not watching Will Smith. You're watching a whole different character. And I think that's what he did with this role. He actually went and deep dived into who King Richard was. And I think that came across on the screen. He did break character a few times where I was like, oh, that's Will Smith right there. But for the most part, he did his thing. This tells the tale of just a modern working guy who is just trying to make the best of his family and create some keep his kids off the street, but in the process, create the greatest tennis players of all time. It was crazy how the work shift went. He will work overnights. His wife will stay at home with the kids. He gets off. The wife works. Kids go to school. Obviously, that's probably when he slept. The kids get off of school. They deliver phone books, and then they would go right to practice. While the other siblings, because there was other siblings, it wasn't just Venus and Serena's. They had three other siblings. They would be doing their homework on the tennis court. Venus and Serena will be practicing. And then they went home, ate, showered, whatever, cleaned up, went to bed, repeat, same thing. He would even go as far as to have them practicing in the rain, and to the dismay of the neighbor across the street who had some kind of grudge against them, probably because she lost her daughter to the streets. It was alluded that she was a prostitute. So she would do things like call child support on them or just make little sly remarks, and everything come to a head eventually. And Will Smith impressed me in this role, but to me, the star of this was Will Smith's wife, who was played by Anjanae Ellis, who who plays Venus and Serena's mom. She orients Williams, now orients Price, because I believe they got divorced. But she brought it. Every scene she brought it. Especially it's a scene later in the kitchen when everything comes to a head. When they're far removed from Compton, because that's where they lived at. They lived in a little house in Compton. King Williams are riding around in this little buggy truck. Have all the girl supplies, and this is all documented on YouTube. You can see this is real true stuff. These girls been prospects since they were kids, so they always had cameras and whatnot follow them around. But prior to this, they would go practice on this shitty ass tennis court in the hood, and the local gangs would kind of mess with them or try to flirt with the girls. And King Richard actually took a couple of ass whoopings protecting that. And it was one scene, man, I thought was pretty good. And this is spoilers, just in case you didn't see it, where he's frustrated visibly because he can't get them a coach. He's been trying to get them a coach. They don't have the money to send them nowhere. And he actually has a pamphlet written up for them, and he's trying to pitch this ideas, but nothing is landing. So he goes to this restaurant, and he's visibly upset. He can't eat, so he goes to the tennis court and just winds up hitting balls on his own. And the gang comes to mess with him, and he decks one of the gang members. They kind of jump on him, knock him out. He goes to get his pistol because he's a security guard, and he's actually about to do something that actually would have changed the course of his life. It might not have been the Venus and Serena. And I know this might be a fictional segment or a fictional part in the movie, but it was just telling us how quickly reality could have shifted and things could have went the other way. And obviously the other gang member winds up getting shot by another gang member in a drive-by, like right as he's walking up. So I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But that was a great scene. Um, I did like the supporting characters as well. Obviously, John Bernthal always does a good job. He played Rick Macy, who's the famed tennis coach of Venus and Serena, and also what's the other guy from Scandal? I just said his name. Tony Goldwyn. He plays the president of Scandal. He did an amazing job as well. He's their first coach. He's the coach that actually initially took Venus on. And that's another thing I didn't know in the movie. I didn't know that Serena was kind of just in Venus's shadow. The coach only agreed to take one of the girls on, and it was Venus because I guess she was the better of the two. So with that being said, Will Smith's character Richard Williams used to film the interactions between the coach and Venus, and then just play them back for Serena, or yeah, Venus, and play it back for Serena. And in the meantime, Serena's mom had to take on the role of training and maintaining Serena because she was just as talented, but she also would sign herself up for juniors, which I thought was pretty sweet, and she would go play in matches herself and win. And unbeknownst to the parents, and I'm like, yo, that's pretty sweet. Like she really wanted it. So they eventually everything comes to a head. They wind up finding it comes to a point where everybody comes knocking, scouts come knocking and looking for it. They agreeing to pay for everything, yada yada yada. And the dad wants Rick Macy. He wants him, so he pitches it to him. Rick Macy catches a cab to Compton. He goes to the tennis court, almost get beat up. like, but he like, listen, I'm ready to do this. So he telling me he wants him, and they set their rules, and he moves them to Florida. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Puts them in a motorhome, and then Williams springs it on him like he doesn't want them playing in the juniors. And the juniors are pretty much like what Golden Gloves is. The boxing, it's just like a process you got to go through in order to become pro. And he tell him he doesn't want them doing it. He just want them to start pro. And it's kind of unheard of at that time. So not only that, he's like creating the course of he's changing the course of history due to his stubbornness. And that's what the story centers around. It's kind of like what would a father do in order to make his daughters successful. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of the same way Joseph Jackson used to be hard on Michael Jackson. If he didn't do that or push him the extra mile, who knows? There might never be a Michael Jackson in this world. Um, all in all, I thought this was a great movie. Very inspiring. Will Smith win a Oscar? Uh, I think so. I think he could pull one off. I think he delved deep into this character and he pulled it off. And there's a lot of scenes from the movie that are actual clips on YouTube. For instance, when the reporter is talking to Venus and he's like, he's being passive aggressive with her in this interview, and William Richards comes and cuts him off and yells at him. That's a real clip that's on YouTube. You can see when he's filming them and he's like, Venus, raise your hand, Serena, raise your hand when they're in the park. That's a real clip. It's a bunch of real clips or it's a bunch of derived parts from like real clips in here that I also appreciated as well. So you could do a comparison. I also thought the girls that played Venus and Serena did an excellent job, especially towards the end when the emotions got evoked, when she wanted to play pro and she was visibly frustrated, and even when she lost the match, I think she really dug deep into just the frustrations of dealing with her dad because he wasn't the easiest person to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So I thought she was great, and I think the standout to me was, like I said, Audrey Ellis, man, that kitchen scene when she was just it comes all out in the open that William Richards is pretty much cheating on her, and he's got kids here and there, and they don't really go into all that, but this was what was happening. He was having babies outside the marriage, and she was like, "Listen, I've been sticking by you while you've been doing all this shit, yada yada yada." And he's just like, they have a come to a closure moment. And John Bertha plays excellent in everything. This guy played the Punisher. He played Walking Dead. He could play any fucking scene you think of. He's just an amazing actor, and he plays the part when when they're trying to get the money and he's visibly upset and they're turning down the money. It's $3 million, and he's just like. And he's doing that the whole movie, like, what the fuck? Like, he's got to deal with Will Smith's character's stubbornness, and he's just like, I just don't get it. Like, it's amazing. But all in all, it's definitely a good watch. I watched it with the kids, my daughter, and she loved it and was inspiring. And even though Venus lost that last match, just to see her come out in the reception she got, it was like she won anyway. And what she did in life, as we know, we went on to see what William Richards said to Serena. you're gonna be the best player, and a lot of people consider her the greatest tennis player of all time. And that's eventually what happened. It's a modern day success story. Uh, I'm a music guy, so I rate all my movies or anything with the mic system, 5 mics. So out of 5 mics, I'm gonna give this a solid 4. I thought it was that good. Definitely think it's Oscar nomination worthy. Anjanae Ellis should be getting Best Supporting Actor. John Bernthal should be getting Best Supporting Actor. Tony Goldwyn should be getting nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and Will Smith should be getting nominated for Best Lead Actor. Even if they don't win, they should definitely get a nomination. That's just how I feel. But post your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. If you need some merch, iamtrill.com. Future Trillionaire. You can get one of these shirts or a bunch of other things. You get 10% off if you enter the promo code Abstract. Also, there's a thanks button below. I believe it's like down here somewhere. Hit that if you want to donate to the channel. It helps out. Until next time, peace, love, and prosperity. One.